Okay, assalamu alaikum. So we're here with two doctors who have both been to Gaza and both treated people in Gaza. Can you introduce yourselves, please?
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Mohammed Tahir. I'm a British born and trained orthopedic and peripheral nerve surgeon.
Very good. And yourself?
My name is Dr. Mohammed Mustafa and I'm a British emergency physician.
So you've both been to Gaza relatively recently. How would you describe the latest situation, what you've seen, and kind of how it's kept going?
I spent 7 months in Gaza, over 3 missions prior to the so-called ceasefire. In that time, I saw the healthcare system on its knees, really. We were exhausted of all medical supplies. We saw all manner of horrific injuries. We amputated so many limbs. Women and children are burned and disfigured, and the wards are full of these people. And that was prior to the so-called ceasefire. Now, Dr. Mohammed Mustafa will tell you about what he saw after the ceasefire broke. But before, it was already calamitous. It was already beyond what anyone could really digest. And then they went and then it broke all the negotiations.
So since the so-called ceasefire, the situation has drastically gotten worse. Israel has escalated and worsened its attacks a lot. So what did you see when you were there?
Look, what we're seeing right now in Gaza, we're seeing images of women and children being funneled into cages and gunned down. It was those exact images 80 years ago that brought about international law and a new world order. And right now what we need is a new world order and international law to be rewritten, because we can't keep witnessing these atrocities and horrors that occur day in, day out. And look, there is a man in 10 Downing Street that can help stop this. There are 2 British doctors here who went into Gaza and risked their lives to save those children. And he should at least give us the grace to sit down and talk to us, because British aid workers have been killed in Gaza. We need an audience with the Prime Minister and the Foreign Secretary, because we are bearing witness to the crimes that went on in Gaza.
Has that happened? Have they reciprocated at all? Have they said that they'll meet with you?
You know, we're working on it right now. But look, you know, Dr. Mohammed Tahir, this man is world known for what he did. He's been in there for 7 months. He's given up his entire life. He's had to move countries because of what he's been doing. These are the kind of people that we need their voices to be elevated and listened to. These are the people that are bearing witness to what's going on. So look, no matter what anyone says right now we need solidarity. We need people to stop criticizing, stop attacking. We need people to be united. It doesn't matter which side of the political aisle you're on. Children are dying, and that's what people need to remember.
Very important, yeah. So what's your main message today?
My main message today is for us. First of all, when I speak to our Muslim community, I want them to be united. I want Sunni and Shia to be together as brothers and sisters for one cause. And when I speak to the rest of my brothers in humanity from all denominations, I say what unites us is justice. What unites us is human rights. These are the laws that you, as Dr. Mustafa said, you prescribed onto us after the tragedies that we witnessed in the world wars. And yet now you've renegated on all of them and you've broken them all. So we're holding you to your own standards. Implement them fairly. And we ask for justice for Gaza, for Lebanon, for Yemen, for Iran, for all the oppressed across the world.
Where do you think the situation is heading now, both in Iran and as it's been slightly overshadowed, the situation in Gaza now, but where do you think it's heading?
The situation in Gaza can never be overshadowed. It is the epicenter of injustice, and it's always at the forefront of our mind, and we will never turn away from it or ignore it or be distracted. Of course, there are tragedies unfolding in Iran, but Iran are a country that can fight back. Gaza are people in sandals, in torn rags of clothes, hungry, starved, displaced, humiliated. There is no comparison here. And so we're really afraid right now, because if the UK joins with the US and attacks Iran and breaks the Middle East as we know it, I think the Palestinian cause may very well be at risk, really, at risk.
What would be your main message to the UK government? And I don't know if you want to talk about the US, like Donald Trump has threatened to bomb Iran.
Look, it doesn't matter what's happening right now, okay? Because history is going to be the judge. What's happening right now all around the world is going to be career defining for everybody else. This is how they will be remembered in history. So no matter what the political pressure is on them now, I'm not going to criticize. What I'm going to ask them is, I'm going to ask them to be brave. I'm going to ask them to be brave for those children in Gaza that are dying every day. I need them to have the courage to stand up. I don't want to fight against them. I need them on my side. What I need them to do is stop bombing and assisting in the bombing and killing of women and children. And I need them to stand here with the humanitarians, with people who have risked their lives for a prolonged period of time in Gaza to save children's lives. These are the people you need to listen to. These are the humanitarians that we need to elevate their voices, not the warmongers, but these people over here. So look, whatever happens, whatever is going on, I need them on our side. So look, I might not criticize them, but what I will say to them is come and listen to us, sit down with us. We're here, we're ready to talk. Let's find a solution.